really. To digitalize, to steal life. It is an anti-life program. It's moving from carbon-based life to silicon-based life to a digital twin of
hey, God,
world
check it out.
that they can control, that is disconnected from spirit and.
I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with his peace. Through tones, melodies, poems, and peace. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. In the bright glow of the dawn, I see myself clearly, bringing in a new day. The old way of doing things is done. I don't care what you say. Monsters don't sleep under your bed.
You know what I mean?
They sleep inside your head. And if you haven't done the shadow work, then left behind is where you stay. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast.
Yeah, see, that's what we do. See what I'm saying, brother?
Melodies, poems, and beats.
That's what we do. You know what I mean?
But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle.
I need this sun, man. I need the sun, bro. This ain't gonna make. Oh, they letting the sun peek out, bro.
Worshiping pedophiles, wanna feed our children's spirits from robots. Turn all of us from carbon-based to silicone-based. Should be where the shit show stops. Get back to doing for ourselves. Water system irrigation and grow crops. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to walk with this beast.
Oh, over there, baby, up in Texas. Oh, they got rain, all kind of stuff.
But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets. I'm saying I'm not some master teacher. No, am I some pastor or preacher? Was released from prison with this passion to speak up. After doing 25 years in the beast cuffs. Realize they tried to teach us spiritual, mental, physical diet. They tried to feed us the fire of our ancestors resides in each of us. With that, I'm inspired to turn this heat up. I'm envisioning a world full of love and peace. Thus my decision is to war with this beast. Through tones, melodies, poems, and beats. But when the time comes, shoot it out in the middle of the streets.
Really approaching almost like it's a Frankenstein moment, and they're framing it to us as innovation, right? We should all be so excited that this is happening, and I equate it to like the golem bringing in like these robots. They would like to feed our life force, to learn us in every tiny detail, not to empower us, but to actually transform us into a robotic simulation that is under their full control.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? Sharon, Zuri, Millennial. Hey. I'm still coughing it up, but it's not all the way, you know what I mean? And, it'll be alright.
Shots out, who am I to shout out? Young fool up too fly to just slide out. Blue sky behind ground, a crown slash yo. So my aircraft still spin, can't be tied down, you can see building.
Don't worry, still gonna do the podcast. I meant to set up for tomorrow, so I gotta go back in there and change it. I was telling T, like I saw it, and I was like, oh, it's for today. I put it for tomorrow. Well, I may do it today, but I'm gonna talk about it.
I keep it dark on well lit. Cause you little goofies are well quick. Body for remarks, velvet. Body not for Mars, just a female's clip. As a kid, all I did was fight. I did the bit with a
Mike, see if we can do it inside, you know what I'm saying? Or I can do it, That way I can have everybody, we all be sitting around the phone and we can sit right there and chime in. You can hear T, Ganja, pretty knowledgeable. Sit around the living room table.
Some worship the Christ, others pray to Allah. Chase a high, drink paper or bruh. You stagnated, well I straight evolve. At a rate, I'm dating space easy, y'all. Bust swept in the case, face off. Active shape, the stage, the faith.
Hey, the podcast, I said it was 2:30. I meant for it to be tomorrow. I saw it was for today. We can do it today, but I can set it for tomorrow. And if you don't mind, all three of us, we can sit at the dining room table. And you know what I'm saying? And we can all be, you know what I'm saying? So that way it's probably better. So I'll make sure I schedule it. I gotta go back in there and do all this goofy stuff on my phone. And I'll schedule it for tomorrow at 2:30, because that's what I thought I put it for. But I looked at it and said today, I'm like, oh, you saw it. But it was, I meant for it to be tomorrow, but yeah. That way we can do it, be a little comfortable, probably have something to eat, you know what I'm saying? And sit down and, you see what the topic is, right? So I want to make sure that if any of y'all come in and you want to express, don't be feelings, emotions, you can advance whether you think you've been lied to, if you decide to come in and chat, but come in with some information that can be added to it. So it'd be a consortium. Remember I say I'm all about us all working together. I'm not about me being the center of information. I'm not. Let it play like it's coming out. But it's like little bit. I'll get it all out.
The earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. Enough with the chit chat. I see through the side house. Looking past the side spot. Drag gang high tops. I don't eat pork, but I will fry cops. For foes, my heart's not icebox. I'm saying that ops. From the skybox, we got to show on you doors. The show is your rules. Some of our folks are still dumb. Yeah, and blind to the fact that love we gon' have this real show. Warrior spirits inside me. That's where it's real from. The world's a stage, page after page. Script is played out. They keep us engaged, they keep arranged. This is played out. Rules of a dying society. Should have been disobeyed out. For hands and it's on the floor. Should have been prayed out. The tank is on. COVID no issue. Could have blown the intention. Now it's control. Who blows the whistle? To who holds the pistols? The block was about who? Also the fizzle. It's regarding the aboriginal issue. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bound or wet. Here's a big fat yellow, white, red, brown, black. Bow, bow, big back. Whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. Ain't fool is nobody's speech. Yet if I
No, it starts with the want. The necessity, not needful thing. Because of correction. What happens when we decide to start taking it back? That's why they're making all these weapons and pushing all the false narratives in history. I ain't gonna say that. Now everybody around the world starting to look at these Jewish sects. Well, their children are missing. Like Guatemala, that caught them bastards. And here it is. And it's y'all they made weak and indifferent. With indifference. Some of you are starting to realize and see. And Russia ain't losing the war. But if they're both fighting, everybody's losing.
So vacate your premises. We're not going back and forth about this or that. Whether your word is bound or whack. Here's a big fat yellow, white, red, brown, black. Mau mau, a big pack. Whether earth is brown or flat. We want our shit back. We're not going back and forth about this.
Hey, Charlie.
Whether your word is bound or whack. Here's a big fat yellow, white, red, brown, black.
Yeah, it's pretty much almost gone. Mine's as well. Sorry. Yo, Abizari, what's going on, beloved? It's you know what? I'm going to talk a little bit about that, not too much. I'm not going to let it go for too long. I'm going to let it go for about another 3 minutes. I'm going to chat about some things.
For the conscious mind, show. And with that on the temple, straw. I had a vision to pass, not yet a circular shroud, created successful reality
from a virtue now. How? Stand on my square cause they usurp your power. Them saying little sneaky breezies that'll hurt you. They style all up in your face, all up in your space. And I ain't talking all bros with dogs with whole trees.
We're gonna talk about that
a
little bit.
Cross slow race. I stay focused on walking through them tall gold gates. Draw a badge and circle around me to keep me from harm. The law fat checks purposely will keep me up calm. Water, fat, air, earth, turn me from that peace to a bomb. Blow the joint, just with the range, the brain, the sentiment.
Don't mind my seeds though. Don't mind it. Y'all know I ain't no gangbanger. That's stupid. I already proved where the original Black Panthers came from. It's all military related. The original Bloods were Vietnam veterans off the East Coast, whether Kentucky, New Jersey, and they found their way because 87 of the people in California from Vietnam era are from Midwest and mostly East Coast. Chicago, Kansas City, Kentucky, so on, Texas, New York, New Jersey, Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, and that's a fact. My papa and them used to wear the white neckerchief with the square knot, one pants leg rolled up, Mason. Yeah. I get tired of hearing people say they all made up history. Even though I had two old heads in Camden, New Jersey, jump me in as an old head, it made no sense. Keep me safe, that's all. But I was safe, come to find out. They just didn't know. They weren't really that safe. Everybody around there was like, yeah, man, and I was safe. Some people were talking reckless, like they wanted to try, because the way I, like, bought homeless kids and help people with little things, rent and stuff like that. So they were like, oh, we got to get him. That's stupid of our people right now. But I wasn't worried about it because everybody that knew me would have hunted them down. And I probably would have got them. You know what I mean? I'm just, I'd rather be modest about that. I don't like advocating violence. Oh yeah, man, show. Appreciate it, love it. Salutation, shalom. Somebody hit me up. Why you respect the Muslims? I respect Islam more than I do everybody. See, what people don't know is Islam is would be the narrative of like we call it Judeo-Christian, Hebraic. It's a fun, I forget how to say it actually. It's all related, but all the stories have been so corrupted and perverted and certain individuals, because of war brought by who have created other disparities. But yeah, Assalamu alaikum, Rahman, I'm not going to say it all the way. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, blessings to the Christians, the good ones, to my Hindu brothers and sisters, always. Salutations to everybody. Rose up, took a shower, purified my arc field, took copper for a wall to ensure my chlorophyll. When was the last time you gazed at the sun? Ganja. Look at it now. Tell me how long it takes you to get the sun black. Right? It's good in there, but it's so slow. Usually it's like that with me. The sun should be gonna go black, y'all. Alright, I got it black now. It took a long time for me to get it black, but it's got a kaleidoscope effect around it. Something's wrong in the air, bro. Yeah, okay, that's not bad. Yeah, with me, I'm seeing some other stuff, though. I see people.
cause that was destroy this de facto government.
Nah, there's something up there, something reflective, something. It's not right. It's not right. There's something in the air, bro.
Day or dark creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray, my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray, my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass rock. The left host, note to self, quit plan, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and smash. Most of them got vaccinated with chips in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grips to their cash. Stashing, watch videos.
35 and 35, don't forget. 35 and 35. Okay, good. Yeah, something wrong. They got something's up there. It's reflective. I can tell. I know. I do this all the time. Oh, it's heavy metals or something on. Something down here.
Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh shark water. I'm on the front line. X marks the
Yeah, I see shark like TV, like what's that? Like 780 or whatever definition. That's how I see it. I see things crisp. I can't explain it. Can't explain it. But I know when things are being done, they go against it. I know. Yeah, it's kind of bothersome. I'll get over it. I just got to deal with the pain or whatever it is. I am
alive. Feel my pulse, yo.
That's they can't play that whole because they go that's from, and it's not really from it, but it is what it is. So a lot of y'all know the whooping cough right now compared to like a couple years ago was 6,000 cases. Right now it's at 32,000 cases. It's really more dangerous for children and people's immune system are compromised, which is almost everybody, especially if you get over like 50, even in the 40. But it's affecting a lot of people. I'm talking about since 2003, actually 6,000 cases. But it's like what's that, like pertussis, pertussis, I think it's pertussis. I think the medical terminology for whooping cough. And usually the whooping cough, if you got it, because when you get done coughing and you don't have the expectorant and you can't get rid of it, at the end it's hard for you to breathe. So if you're not having too hard of a time, if you're smoking, stop, take a break, get whatever it is from the day they spray, let it go away. Okay. So the podcast, I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna reschedule it for tomorrow. I thought it was in for tomorrow. I don't know. I had to go sign back into I paid for it, my streaming account. That way I can have up to 12 heads on there. And if anybody decides to come on there, make sure you come with a little information that you can bring that maybe somebody else don't know. Even if you found somewhere else, that way, if we can say, oh, we know it's a fact, it's great to hear the information, we can discuss it, or we can make corrections, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to have big fact checkers and autocorrect. That's the beautiful thing about freedom of speech and everything else. I hate saying freedom of speech, but the narrative. So we can look at these things, and I don't want people all cussing and swearing on the podcast. If you're indifferent, or if you feel some kind of way and you want to come on and argue the case, come right on. Make sure that you bring legitimate sources of references, not based upon the narrative of white supremacy or ideology of them being perfect, the prompt of perfect, looking at perfections based on where the world's at, how we got here, and like medicine and everything else, and who were the founders that established it, going all the way back to 1813 and up. for 18, 20 million pesos. You know what I mean? And we'll build upon that. See, do we have specify on the donation? No. I'm gonna like this. If it's 10 and above, I'll shut you up, but I'll say, you know what, I'm gonna use it for like some bolts. We got to get a lot of screws and bolts. And I got to buy those, you know, the boxes of the 10,000 for the nail gun. I'm gonna get another nail gun. It's a little bigger. That holds almost double that, I think, or slightly more. So I only got one box or two boxes of the 10,000 nails, and that'll do like the whole deck. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely gonna need about 20 boxes of 10. You know, hey, anyone of y'all, hey, you know, I remember how much I paid for that. The box of the nail was about 40 something, right? Almost $50, right? So, like I said, I'll match it with, even if it's for the books. I got like 5 books that I'm going to order along with this. I'm going to order a jackery today. I'm going to order one just to have it and a jackhammer. T's going to order his when, you know, and then we'll take it from there. But so that way we can have stuff to really do the things we need. And and any other donation after I get these books, because these books are going to be kind of expensive. It's going to be to rent like a bobcat and stuff like that for like 2 or 3 days. Teach these guys how to utilize it. Have the whole backhoe on it, and as well the shovel. I'm gonna make sure I've been looking at a few of them. We found one that was pretty good, the little red ones. But those, and that's right there in Benson. So you know we can put it on we can put it actually on that. You know what I mean? And we can bring it ourselves. But I think it's like, I was looking at it, was like what it's like for 3 days. I think it's like 100 and something for a day every day, but you gotta put the gas in it. You gotta make sure things get it. You can't put damage to it. So when we cross that, I'll let you know. Whatever you give it, you can just put it for whatever. You put it for books. If you put it for books, it's gonna be used for books. And if you say whatever, I'll use it for books or for tools. So we still gotta get 2 saws. Just the other tools we're gonna need, because for those who know construction, I know there's a couple of individuals coming here that are probably doing it now. They can convey that there's a lot of tools, especially if you're gonna build a home or anything like that. I was looking into the LLC again. I got the 01 where I can create my own LLC account. I've got my own EIN. I did that when I was on the reservation. And with that, I'm gonna work with more. And Oak, you can express it yourself. I'm becoming more and more knowledgeable in it, and that way we can go ahead and put together not just a material, a physical portfolio, but we can do a digital one. God's just gonna help us with that. T probably can help as well. He's pretty, he knows some things as well. I like that the younger generations work with the computers right in school, but it's good when you have a consortium of individuals work together. You know what I'm saying? I had somebody hit me up. I'm gonna read this in a minute. Excuse me. And if you're here, because I know I said I was gonna talk about it in here, and I chose not to. I gave you T's number. Let me pull it up. I think I started. Because this is why I truly respect it so much. Cashapp Khan. Sleep is an issue for a lot of people. I gotta scroll down, guys. Oh man. Well, it's not updating. Dude. December 19th. Asia. So at any time, Asia, you know, speak over here, give a call and we can chat. This individual is talking about the greenhouse, and I adore that. Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna start building, drilling holes and everything. We might start next week. I would like to get Omek if he's not too hard working, because he has a set job that he does to keep those stuff made on the table. But whenever him and his old lady have time off to come up here when we start drilling, to have all the heads crushed together, cranked together, so that way we can not be lethargic, but we can all work together. Because it's easy for me to go up there and just start. Massaroni. Salutations. What's happening? But yeah, no, it's all right. Just, like I said, it's whatever dirty you should choose. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to T-Mobile. That's why my phone's not on. Otherwise, I could turn it on right now. A few days ago when they did that, and I called and talked to them, and I knew they're full of it. Because I paid the bill on the 3rd. I had everything done on that day, and I played like I did it in 2 days. Regardless of that, because it posted even though it was the 2nd day, and I just made it like it was 2 days. And they were trying to attempt to tell me like they were correct, and I was like, no, you got people right there in phone service. Who is you? You know, y'all get robbed like everything else. Like when I was in New York, the Chase Manhattan Bank was robbing everybody for pennies on the dollar. And, you know, I had to talk with a couple of Mexicans and people who were doing housekeeping. And they used to always listen to me, and I used to look at this stuff going, what are you missing? And I said, let me see about 6 months back. And I was able to figure out that pennies on the dollar, they were getting raped, you know, and went and got with a couple of attorneys, and I forget what their names were. They did it, and yeah, they won the case, you know. So if the bank was doing it, what makes you think some damn goofy ass phone company and all these other platforms? You know how many people actually who were supposed to get paid on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and never did because the indifference and the racism and everything else with the goofies that they hire. And you know who to look towards, the same people who are over there coming to this land and who went over there and fought, you know, their little 3-6 months and murdering babies, sniping and killing and women and children and everything else, like the little 6-year-old baby right now. That's one out of thousands. And this perversion, they said it can exist because it's okay because the Hamashiach, whatever the heck, right? That little hybrid thing that they wanted to bring back that was, you know what I mean, whatever. That's why I put what you see there and also in podcasts. It's not going to go the way they think. Well, it's going to go the way kind of, but anyone who's want to be a willing sacrifice for something they think is better is a fool. But yeah, so I could turn it on right now. I'm not going to. I can get T-Mobile. We gotta do that, man. I go ahead and just get it. So that way it comes, I get a SIM card, and then I'm not in a rush to turn the phone on. Even though it's on, they can still watch. They're recording right now. If you don't know, if I was to turn everything off, I probably wouldn't be able to go live on here. So I don't care. You know what I'm saying about them being snoopy and nosy. You know what I mean? But yeah, this stuff right here. Let me read this to you. So Asia, yeah, come on in, and you're absolutely welcome to come. We give you the address and everything else. You can come, and we get it over with. So anyway, right here, right now, what this is saying. Let me pull it up. I'm using health based on Gizmodo. You can go to whichgov.gov, cdc.gov, whatever. You can go there and you can pull up the same thing based on, you know, the PET or PRTUSSIS, which is considered whooping cough. But again, if you have the cough and you're not wheezing or have like afterwards, you don't have that. But you want to be careful because you don't also want to have bronchitis, which is like next to pneumonia, right? Or maybe even worse. A lot of people, I forget how many people, the numbers are there, how many people pass away from bronchitis every year or whatever, you know. So be mindful, be very careful. Well, let me go ahead and read this. So the CDC data reveals why everyone around you is coughing. There have been over 32,000, give or take, cases of whooping cough this year. CDC data shows the highest count seen in a decade. Now, here we go. It's pertussis, there you go, also known as whooping cough, is making a comeback that no one asked for. Now, recent federal data shows that cases of the vaccine preventable disease, preventable, then why is it here? This year, have reached the highest levels in a decade. Now, as of December 14th, there have been 32,085 cases of pertussis, a whooping cough, reported to the United States Centers for Disease and Control. We know what gimmick they're on and who's the head of the CDC. And prevention this year. That's a 5-fold increase from the tally recorded in 2023, which only saw around 6,500 cases. There are several factors to blame for the short. Of course, they're going to blame something other than themselves because they're part of the gambit. Experts say including declining vaccination rates. You would think that these idiots would be smarter than this after saying everything that's going on and the fact that the Pfizer and them, they think that they're untouchable because of the fiat, and no, that's just the gambit, you know. Will Cooper talked about it. A lot of people have expressed on it, and a lot of people right now, doctors, nurses, ex-military officers, all of them are expressing about this fraudulent AIPAC, these punk politicians who run with AIPAC who are paid for betrayers. But that's how they establish you get the weak, cowardly, and then you can do anything with them, do anything that you want, and as long as they feel like they're safe. You know when they get the notification warnings, don't go outside, their houses, millions of dollars of hermetic to sell, the water filtration is pulling out the fluoride and everything else, so that way they can feel like they're better off and their food is more stable than yours, okay? Now, while the first pertussis vaccine was invented over a century ago, over 100 years ago, it wasn't widely recommended and used until the late 1940s. We used to have a natural way of doing it, but whether it was castor oil, wood turpentine, and sugar, we had a way to get rid of most of this fraud, and we knew how to make it. Most people now, like 98%, don't. When it paired with vaccines for tetanus, and diphtheria, the combination shot has been a mainstay of vaccination programs in the United States. This is not the United States. Anyway, ever since, and that's the crown, the fake crown of so-called Britannia, and it's helped greatly reduce the burden of pertussis. Prior to greatly reduce the burden, so it doesn't cure or fix it. Prior to mass vaccination, for instance, there were between 100,000 and 300,000 cases of pertussis reported annually in the United States. So that's looking back during the period of almost a century. Okay, I skipped up. When we go back to the 1940s and stuff like that, previous. That said, this year's tally is unusually high for modern times. It's the highest number of cases since 2014. So I was off a little bit. When there were 32,971 cases. And in some states, experts and health officials have blamed lowering vaccination rates among residents and their children for the rise. I don't know, I would say look into that, okay? Hey, Red Hunter, 80s born. Oh, okay, prime example. Oh, the wind's back. Yeah, it's not too bad right now like it was yesterday. Because most of yesterday, right, that one was kicking the rain, was doing the retard, wasn't it? Oh my goodness. Well, this thing was just, you couldn't hear nothing. But let's go back down. Let me pick up where I dropped off at here. Excuse me, my apologies. It's jumping up and down. Why is it doing that? It just jumped way down to the bottom. Anyway, over a century ago, okay? Looking back, pre-1940. That said, this year's tally is unusually high, okay? Like I said, 32,971 cases. And in some states, experts have blamed the lowering of vaccination rates among residents. Who wants to get vaccinated when what's been going on has been happening? And I guess everybody's going to be quiet, shut up. You know, be like the Palestinians, we're going to bomb you, get you out of this land, and we're not even the true. And the first thing they utilize in their morbid ideology is anti-Semitic. We already pointed out who professed that and told them how to utilize it when they're not even a shit. When the majority of them are converts and they're not true Judeans or Atlanteans. Okay? Now, another important factor concerns the vaccine itself. In the United States and many other countries, people have switched to a newer, different form of the pertussis vaccine. While this vaccine is safer than the older, wholesale version, evidence has shown that it provides less immediate and sustained protection from pertussis overall. So how are they going to claim one thing and state another, right? As a result of this switch, and this is what they do, experts have argued that future outbreaks of pertussis or whooping cough are likely to be larger when they happen. Still, it's just like Netanyahu. How many years ago, before the Trade Centers came down, he made a stunning predicament that the World Trade Centers will be brought down? I mean, come on. Anyway, still vaccination remains the most crucial tool lies to keeping pertussis in check. You know, it's diet, all these chemicals, the fluoridation in water and everything else that is lowering people's, making people having people have the inability to fight off certain things because of the toxins and paraffins and after yellow 40 and the red 40 and all that crap and all the processed food and everything else based on what they've done. They don't want to say it, but I can pull it up because it's all right here. All right. So anyway, the greater and the less people are vaccinated against it, the greater the risk of sustained outbreak worldwide, especially in countries with low vaccination coverage. Now, pertussis causes 24 million annual cases along with 161,000 deaths in children under 5 each year. To me, that sounds like a man-made sacrifice. In the United States, about 80% of children under 2 have received the recommended full series of DTaP or DTaP shots. 90% of teens have received at least one shot of the Tdap or TDAP vaccine, and only 43% of adults over 18 have received a TDAP shot in the last 10 years. Now, boosters are recommended every decade. When's the last time you got all these damn shots? How about you, T? Army? Can't even remember. Me, since I got out of the Navy. 96. Okay? And then you can go on and read further as far as the circumflammation, things that point to, I would say that we can fix it, but your immune system being strong is one of the most important things. And we used to have this thing when my grandma was like, Jim, we got the pneumonia, so we got to eat this cold away. And the food didn't do nothing but to further feed the parasites, the parasitical organism. And what actually assisted was when great grandmother came, arguing with grandma, and started doing her home remedies. That's what, healed me every time I had pneumonia. You got to remember that when we read Beyond the Ice Walls, Claudio Nocelli, and we read all the books, and we look at the wars and how they're keeping us from being able to go one way or the other, keeping us in a world of lies of the history of our almanac, knowing the truth. Because remember, we created the almanac, Antarctica was a green land, and we didn't have these winters and a whole lot of rain. Wasn't even known, not even recorded in time. You know what I mean? So what's the truth? Well, it's obviously what they're doing, and the fact that they're so ignorant and blatant that they're murdering people and they're celebrating it. If you go to Twitter, there's this thing, it's called, what is it called? Let me see what it's called. It's Israel genocide something. It's on Twitter. It's on X. It shows you every one of the individuals, whether from here or wherever, who went over there to fight and murder it. The engineers that tear down the people's homes and everything else, blow them up. The snipers who were dual citizens, or who converted and who went to serve and were literally aiming and shooting at children and women. These are the same people who are Talmudic and believe that it's all right to have sex with a 3-year-old boy or girl, and so forth, and marry and all that other stuff. And I always said, we used to say in New York, and we used to always say this in New York, we used to walk around and say, if you want to be a pedophile, become a Jew. That was a saying we had, because it come to find out, we had some Jewish friends who knew their uncles and stuff were pedophiles and tell the stories they did, and the fact that they converted to Judaism, where it was no longer a scene, and they went over there, and you hear no more about it. You've seen numerous times caves, walls fall in, children missing, and certain sects and stuff leaving and coming. These individuals play a major role. Not everyone is a Zionist or Talmudic scholar or participator, yet it exists, and that is where the most deviant of these things happen. And the very like of individuals who decide to go into science, chemistry, and everything else. I had a Hindu sister who knows me, reached out to me from school and says, why are you going so hard on my people? I said, your people, are you American? She says, you know what I mean? I said, I'm going hard on the bad people. Are you one of the bad people? She said, no, I just wanted to clarify because I got my mom and I'm sitting here and you're listening. I said, you could have told me. I explained to him. And she was like, I still love her. I was like, I love you too. I got a whole lot of Hindu brothers and sisters who I respect and highly favorable, regardless of whether you're Gentile or not. I'm going to tell you nearly 100%, nearly. That means anywhere roughly between 85 to 95% of the people claiming to be Jews are converts, and they're goyim. By the very narrative of the Yiddish word goyim. And it's funny, the reflective state of mentality and the perversion of its existence. When you hear these rabbinical individuals who speak highly in favorable of that, who do these dastardly things, who have come and made it clear that Christians and everybody will be killed because they're Gentiles, when the very people claiming it are not even the real Judean people. It's us. No way around it. It's not Native Americans. Stop. I'm so tired of these Hebrews who don't know the origin of the places where they come from or how they occupied those lands and their true origin. Now, we want to go back to the original when the resets start. We go back to, I've always known around 1809 or 1813, but we'll stick with 1813 up to 1827. That was when the destruction took place. When you want to look at, that would be the 8th century for most of you, but it wasn't planned from the first up to the 6th, 1,000 years added, and then all of a sudden, here they are over here, and they want to subjugate the true Judean people by the narrative of Atlanteans, and utilize us to further subjugate and bring us down. I'm going to get into, when we talk about these individuals on the podcast, I'm going to bring up some facts based on historical documents, references, books, showing how over 200 of our towns and cities were flooded by dams when it happened, people being told to leave and put out on the outskirts. And so if you're allowed to be called black and everything other than what you are, they'll continue to do this, even though our people fought back all the way up into the 40s, 50s, and 60s. The church, like I said, the church religion is what betrayed our people. If you want to subjugate a righteous people, you kill off the elders, and then the few that are left, you dismiss them, put them in crazy houses that never existed, and you subjugate the children, and you create a system that monopolizes and categorizes, and it puts them into a certain state. That's where most of our people are stuck. And until they can come out of that, because anytime, I was watching a lot of World War II and Korean and Vietnam Wars, and I was not shocked or amazed at all these Indian-looking brothers, American Indian, true Asiatic, so-called black men. And you can see it in them. Big crooked nose, big old ears, some little ears, the crease, the shovel teeth. You could see it in them. And they want to push the black narrative because, like I said, when you call up the elders, and they're not fortunate that everyone wasn't fortunate to have a lot of us. There are those who know they had Argonauts and this and other, as far as the Morris doctrine and this and other in their family, and there's nothing wrong with that because they categorize both people to subjugate and conquer. Though we of this land are totally a different consortium, the problem at hand is, and the ignorance of all these policy enforcements and this and other, they don't know what the Zionists know is that there is a certain state and a shock that can really set everyone off, that they can never turn back from. That is what they want, because they know what's going to happen. Now, these individuals out here doing these perversions, all these new Latinos on the police force and all this, that, and Asians, and some people can't even speak English, and these foreigners, the special forces that come and walk around in uniform to subjugate the police going over to Palestine to learn how to harm the people over here. Because you got to remember, everything that's happened in Palestine was circumvented and practiced here first. Research it. Even though our people killed and fought back, the church betrayed us. Is there any pastor, minister, or anybody want to come on and speak their piece? Come on the podcast tomorrow, because I'm going to draw upon a lot of Dravidian, a lot of things. Okay? And I know they won't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Delusion, strong delusion, love it. You know what I mean? Red Hunter. We've been under siege for quite a long time. Yes, Sharon. Everyone. And the sad part is how some got there, even though it's not in the good eye. Not all the great grandbabies Jamil Samsey's book, Don't Call Me No Dummy, and again, still Don't Call Me No Dummy, talks about a lot of this. But this is information that is readily available, and who's behind it? Well, who's been influencing the government since the murder of our King Lincoln, the brother? Who has been influencing it? I mean, we can go back to Lyndon B. Johnson, but we can go back long before that. How about all the first ladies, though they look white, were considered had indigenous blood? Look into it, research it. I like to give little tidbits, tea and stuff, and how the first people lynched in the so-called Americas were the light skins. But what people won't say is why. Because we had all shades of wheat here. But when you get into the epidermis, the skin of it, now I ain't talking about the color, you know that though there's different shades of wheat, there are those who are identity thieves, and not by their own admission, and not sometimes by their own desire. A lot of people don't know how the so-called them work, and that's why I say it's important to study that. And if you come from that family, you should speak up and say what you know. That's where we got the problem, is we have a lot of people who have a guilty conscience, who want to be innocent and wash their hands clean, but they don't want to express the things they know. And so I'm going to talk about the things I know. You know, I got two Jewish uncles. They make sure I knew some things that darker than me. But it is what it is. The colorism, the fake racism, and everything else, and the fact that the majority of us don't have Neanderthal, what they say, Neanderthal blood, should allude to the fact that there is a lot of dirty things that have happened in the past that the majority of people are very unaware of. I mean, if we could pull energy from the atmosphere that's still being done, thermal and, as far as heating underground and all that kind of stuff, what makes them think that messing with DNA and everything else was impossible? It's very possible, but it happened. I just wanted to come on and express these little things that are based on the sentiments of feelings, real feelings, when you look at what's going on. And the fact that they just like to go behind the lines of what they think they control. Hey, Daniel, what's going on, beloved? And hey, ML, what's cracking? What's going on, beloved? Shalom, everybody. But how far? But these things I find should be the predominant conversation, and not with rage and anger. It should be somewhere people are researching it and solidifying their claim. Okay, we don't want to be antagonists. We want to be protagonists. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to get to the bottom of it. I ain't talking about walking hand in hand and marching and having a bunch of idiots spraying water and sicking dogs, or getting all armored up looking like Gundam, you know what I'm saying? Beating everybody down in the head while they're getting agitators. Putting them in handcuffs, putting them in a paddy wagon and driving 2 blocks around and taking the handcuffs up because they're federal or police to go out there so they can do the perversion that they do. As far as the military, when they started, so many of our great Indian fighters were dead. The military that was coming here were a new existence of individuals who were easily conditioned and programmed with the hatred and everything else, and our people had to tolerate and put up with that and a lot of death. Like when they tell the story about Christopher Atticus, he was of Wabanah, and they wanted y'all to believe that he was black and African. This is the incursion of their lives, so they can circumvent and set themselves up to be in this position of righteousness, and yet performing unrighteous acts and attempting to give you a Bible based on the Old Testament, where it says this is what they do, and then spit on your very Jesus and your religious ideology to push their relevantly new religious ideology of these converts to ascertain a certain position in the world or in society to create harm and everything else that they're doing, which is not just genocidal, but affects everyone. I mean, isn't Charles Schwab, his father was with the SS or whatever, it was a Jew, right? They say concentration camp bullshit. Says, hey, look, when Bill Gates, they got to get it down to 500 million from pretty much 8 billion people. Man, and they got you worried about just Philistine and all the indigenous people of what they did in Australia and still doing, Hawaii, not the fact that they done Gog and Magog them out of existence and made them look like something they never were. You know, out there talking about doing the haka and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And these are not nowhere near the people that they were. The symposium of literal understanding is based on the perversion of the narrative. So therefore, everybody stands under a blatant lie, and they succumb to it because they've been conditioned for it. So it's not really a willing succumbing. It's being put in a position and not realizing what that position is. You know, when they talk about Easter Island, you should think that they murdered them. Britain went over there with the ships and murdered everybody. And then they went to digging up all the statues and everything else and fussing out that people weren't there no more and all this nonsense. You got people running around in France and England and all that who are very ignorant, and because they have a certain dialect coming from Jamaica, Haiti, and Ghana, and Guyana, and all these different places in America, they have forgotten who they are, and you can see what they are and who they are. And I respect the young brother who goes over there, Adonis, and boy, he jacks them cats up with the truth. And it's hard for them to accept the narrative because they've been educated under the same system. The mind to prison occupation. The mind to prison occupation. Let me say that again. The mind to prison occupation. That means to be locked and not free to express truth of thought when you don't know truth. Okay? So you're in the catacombs of being locked away in the thought process and only institutionalized except the narrative given or painted. Okay? What's funny is all those individuals over there must not really go to the museums to see real history. And then the ones that do will speak these facts, knowing them. So I'm not here to prove who's indigenous. It's well known. It's well established, regardless of what Hollywood did. The first 20 years of Hollywood, we played the Indian. Somebody want to prove me different? I can name a whole bunch of movies. I made a post with it. Okay? Now all of a sudden, we get to a certain point, certain war, and now they want to rewrite it because now there's a lot of elders that are dead, set up in the war, put on the front lines like cannon fodder. But every time they want you to believe that it's this great white hope, when you look at certain movies, the special operators and this, that, but they don't want to tell you that it was us who helped France, who beat back Italy and Ethiopia and all these other things. Whether it be the best tank crew or the Tuskegee Airmen, the best pilots. Well, how about the medical field? How about who was delivering the planes? How come they don't want to talk about those things? Because they don't want you to have hope. They want you to be systematically and systemically destroyed, my brothers and sisters. And they want the rest of the brothers and sisters on the lighter side to accept the state that you're in without even knowing the truth of your existence. Okay? Oh, y'all just listen to me talk on. So everybody's in here, right? The service is up and all that. Anyway, I just want to come on for a short period because I want to go to Benson and get back. I want to get a couple of dollars. We gotta get some gas for taking a few other things. I'm that's something good, I think. At least that's what my grandma, great-grandma used to say to me. Every time I got money, they clean up my room and be like, "Oh, that money me in between the mattress. Ain't that what y'all do? Well, you can put it in the mattress and sew it. How people did that. But I didn't go as far as cut the seam, and I wasn't a great a seamstress or whatever. So I just put it in between the mattresses. And Grandma would always find it. Boy, where you got all that money from? Well, on the birthday and Christmas and Uncle Dan and Auntie so-and-so gave us in. And you know, and I just didn't spend mine like that. I just hold on to it and wouldn't even count it. And, you know, because everything, eating in school, Mom was always cooking, everything was there, playing. I never thought about it, you know, so I've always had that state, you know what I mean? But I appreciate you guys, the new subscribers, and I thank you for the donations and everything. I really do. I don't really get a lot of super chats, even though I give them out. I just want y'all to know that we're all practical people. Even the bad guys are practical people. I don't like saying that, but they're not really bad as they think they are. They're dumb things. If they only knew a little more, maybe they would change their way. Sometimes when people do bad things, they got to be held accountable, and they will be. By the definition of what bad is, it doesn't matter how they feel. It's just they're going to be held. I don't care how deep, committed, serial killing, whatever. Chopping bodies up, laying out, it don't matter what weapons they have. When I say held accountable, it's not coming from some religious consortium and all that. It's just not. All right. Things are bigger than even they could think or imagine. Way bigger. But for you to be good stewards, to be good custodians, and gatekeepers of your brothers and sisters, that's the only advice I can give you. As far as that goes. And I hope y'all appreciate a little information I get. It's not a lot. Like I said, I don't really know anything. I talk about the things I know, about things I research or find, or share, hopefully to draw research and see what you find. But I think the podcast will be a good one. I'm on here after I get off of here and reset it for tomorrow, 2:30. And I appreciate you guys. I do. If it was the other me, I'd appreciate y'all being in the dark. But they crossed the line when they didn't listen to me. And nothing I can do about that. Everyone has a choice, you know. All right? So don't be scared of nothing. That you really need to trust me. Don't be afraid of anything. I'll let you know if you need to be afraid. And right now, I couldn't be able to tell you. So just take my advice about certain things. Get yourselves together and come and join the Jamboree, bro. So we're going to be, and I'm not going to be, like I said, we're recording. I'll be uploading stuff. I ain't going to be doing all this talking and bad mouthing certain people because there are some good Jews. This is the way it is. There are. I'm not trying to be clean or anything. I know a lot of good Jewish brothers and sisters who I adore, I respect in a religious dichotomy of things, who respect themselves, who walk in a different light, and they're tired of the whole gambit. But there's a lot of bad individuals out here. You cannot convert to be us. It's just no way. All the blood mixing that happened, that had nothing to do with the origin and beginning, has been based on a perversion of a group of individuals who are dynastically sick. So I'd advise y'all to be mindful of who you be with. There's a reason why a lot of light-skinned women and Asians and Hindus are coming to us. I can't really go into that in depth. That's not my place or position. I really need to look at some things. There's a reason why France adored us. They didn't abhor us. They adored us. They loved us. There's a reason why, even in Germany, because you got to remember that the German prisoners here, they were given more respect than even the officers and the Black Corps and all that, so-called black military personnel. The disease is real, and it's systemic to generational curses. And the problem is, a lot of people's great-grandparents never thought or cared about you. They had disdain because that's how they were raised. Okay? There's no hate for me. Not at all. I'm aware of a lot of things. All right? Hey, so what's up, baby? Y'all, I appreciate y'all taking the time to listen. At the 1 hour mark. Again, me and Snoop, Big Jers, a lot of us grew up in some church who were decent, magnificent, wonderful people. And then some of y'all know the ones probably hid amongst who were very bad. It changes. It changes because that's what the so-called Z they need things to happen a certain way in order for a certain thing to happen. All I can say is do your best not to get caught up in that. Do your best. Here, it would be safe. We don't go out there with hate. We appreciate everybody. We're respectful of everything and be mindful. That's how it should be in this faith. Just think about some of the things I stated. All right? And research and see what you find. And be better than the enemy you perceive, the perception of the enemy. Be much better. Okay? I appreciate y'all, my beautiful sisters, my magnificent, wonderful brothers. Okay? And I'll see you guys. May come on later. It's cool out here. Okay? But I appreciate you guys. And like I said, donations. Write whatever you want to write. All right? And Asia, call T's phone. Like I said, he's got the number. And we can converse on what you're capable of, what you know how to do. I'm going to see if I can get some things, some other things. But right now we need to go out there. I need to withdraw some money and, you got to keep the children safe. Keep them warm. Keep them fed. And we got to maintain ourselves as well. All right. What's the most important thing? The children.